Good morning, builders, and welcome to day 7 of building an AI company from scratch. Let's get started. Okay, so quick update. I am studying at the basics again because I don't want to miss anything, and I'm generally a practical learner, which means I learn notions by doing. But instead of opening NA10 and diving straight into it, stumbling on issues, errors, and trying to fix them, which is usually how I do it, I want to have a highly detailed theoretical knowledge as well, because I want to be able to point you in the right direction. So I'm putting this extra workload on my shoulders so that now it's easier for me to just send you a link and tell you what I'm learning. But in the future, if the community gets bigger, I still want to have that theoretical knowledge of explaining concepts in the most simple but effective way possible to beginners. I don't want to be a level 100 and be so tangled into the highly complex things that I will be doing that I can't explain what a JSON parse is, or what a JSON payload is, or that you can pass parameters, query parameters to a webhook, or what's the difference between an API call and a webhook, and all those basic things, which are already things that I know when I put them in practice. But I think the theoretical knowledge can speed also my processes up and be useful to you guys when you ask me questions. So that's what I started doing. I started exactly with that, and I'll just keep going. It's been an hour since I started after I had lunch, and now I'll just keep working and studying. So I'll catch you later. I decided to go with AI automation as the first thing. And after another hour, I got the basics. Basically. That's so funny. No, it's not. But I got the basics nailed, I would say, right? And I put them into two different structures. The first one is a curriculum type of checklist. So any given video that I'm consuming, if I think that might generally be useful for you, that basically can become a resource. And that resource is divided into how to learn the resource with timestamps and making sure you get every concept right, and how to implement the resource. So if you want to go ahead and test the practical implementation of what you just learned, you also have a checklist that you can check in perpetuity, like forever. Even 2 years from now, you will be implementing more or less the same principles, and that mini checklist can be added up to a whole SOP. If you don't know what an SOP is, a standard operating procedure, which is the way business processes are executed and documented. So essentially a step-by-step for work. And that's what I'm going to do for each resource that I consume. I either learn something from, or I think it's the best way to display a specific concept in an informative way. And that will be part of, again, a possible community that we could build together. Divided into two parts. I told you guys about this in yesterday's video already, which is the offline asynchronous part, meaning Discord or Telegram or any other messaging type communication. And the live part, which I want to be more interactive than just doing it like a live seminar or a call at any given time, like fixed schedule. I want to be more flexible. I want it to be more fun as well. So for that reason, we could do a Nonilian or a Soulwork. There's a few other tools that create virtual offices. Everyone has their own desks or room. We can move around. There's proximity mic. If you go and check yesterday's and which I think, day 6 and day 5 videos, you will see examples of these things. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments if you want to be part of this and learn in the same room, literally, and work in the same room and just exchange thoughts and build together. Let me know if you want to do that. And now, guess what? I'll just keep going. There's more stuff to learn. So, took a break to cook dinner. We're gonna try cooking something different this time to detach a little bit from work and study. We've been deep focused for the last like couple hours, 2-3 hours. For me, it's a bit longer. So yeah, let's get something to eat. Let's have some fun preparing it, hopefully. And then again, back to work. È ancora un po' freddino. Anche poco l'olio.
No.
Perché qui al centro vedo che non...
Vado così?
Sì. Oh.
Senti, là diceva...
Io voglio un po'.
Vai. E metti sopra.
Guardate. Va bene così. Poi... And finally, it's ready. Perfetto.
Grazie.
Let's see if it's good, at least. Dinner was delicious. Now back to work, and next thing you will see is the daily recap with community feedback and everything you already know. But first, got a few more things to do. So this is the daily recap, where I divide my day in 3 main parts. The community feedback, so I interact with you guys, reply to your comments or questions or DMs on Twitter, Instagram, if you didn't comment under the videos. Then data tracking, which is what you see here, and strategy. So I think about my next steps and I kind of prepare for executing them. Let's start with community feedback. The only comment we have today is from Federico, who is always commenting, so thank you for the support as always. Totally relate to what you said about the Italian market. Great solutions provided. Thank you so much. Yeah, Federico, we worked together in my NFT company, but that company was targeting strictly international clients, even though me and him are both Italian. So yeah, what I said in day 5, if you missed it, check it out. Applies not only to Italy, but to lots of countries that are already developed, so pretty developed countries where innovation is kind of stagnant because of misconceptions about upcoming innovations and technologies. Unlike, I made the example of India or other developing countries where stuff like crypto, AI is welcome because it propels growth, because growth is needed. So yeah, this is YouTube. Let's check Instagram and Twitter. Okay, pretty much nothing. With Josh, the guy that, as you know from the previous video, has been laid off after 10 years of working in the design field with companies. Now he's going his own way using AI and joined me in literally the same journey. And so everything right now is being handled also on Discord because we are communicating on the next steps, which will be part of the strategy session at the end. So if you want to be part of what me and him and honestly so many other entrepreneurs are doing with AI, but want to do it with accountability and within a community, just watch the strategy session at the end. I got a few ideas that I think we could execute on. So this is the data part, but I track the actual progress in terms of balance and followers from the day before. Today is day 7 and the balance is unchanged, still minus $169. This is what we spent so far. Followers, just 3 more in total. We gained 4 on Instagram. This is the single best day on Instagram. Nothing on X, 2 on YouTube, but we lost 3 on TikTok for a grand total of +3. When it comes to progress, which naturally makes me flow into the strategy that comes with it, I recorded B-roll for a wider variety of content. So hey King, my editor, you're watching this, you got stuff to do, right? And I appreciate what you're doing for me as always. When it comes to AI related things, and more importantly, what comes next from tomorrow. First thing, I connected with Josh and Noob Master. Probably if you saw the previous videos, you know that Noob Master is another very frequent commenter, just like Federico, as I mentioned in this one. So yeah, they're the 2 most engaging subscribers that are completely new to me, because Federico is a friend. So I do consider him as part of what I'm about to explain, but that's why I wrote 2 most engaging subscribers. Now, when it comes to the next step, logically, I would funnel you guys into a community, but that would be very static. That's exactly how I built the 10K per month business that I quit to do this, that you're watching, to get into this journey. Generated attention on socials and funnel them into a community, but I'm not selling anything. And I don't want a static community to be a graveyard for information. Just like your bookmarks. Think about that. You save things in your bookmarks, but that's a place where information dies 95% of the time. And even if you go back and check them, you don't have the full context you had when you saved that same material. Same happens with communities. I've been working online since 2018. And even before I started working actively, meaning making money, I joined communities and spent my money to increase my knowledge. And despite all those years and new advancements, there's always that same conception and structure that communities have, which is you join, you get onboarded asynchronously. It's very rare that you have a one-to-one onboarding, for the most part, of course. And then you are hyped for the first few days, and hype dies down as you consume what are basically the information that made you join. And if you happen to generate relationships and to network with other members, usually the conversation is limited to this subgroup that has just been created rather than the whole community. I think the best way to solve this is by working inside of a virtual office. Let me show you. So, as you know from yesterday, Dia has become my studying and research assistant when I'm on my Mac. And that's why you're seeing it right now, because it had to help me with finding alternatives to SoulWork and Nonillion, which I already knew. Now, SoulWork and Nonillion are these tools that allow spatial collaboration, and virtual offices, stuff like that. So I asked for alternatives, and the good thing about Dia is that it's powerful, can search the web, has context, as you know already, and a bunch of other things. But I like the fact that it also adds visual aid when it can, when it's relevant, even without me asking. So yeah, this is a Kumo space. You can customize it like that. I asked for main feature, pros, cons, and pricing for each, and then just gave me a few ones. This one, Fede, if you're watching this, you know this because that's what we used in NFTpreneur as well. I just couldn't remember the name, but now that it's been suggested by Dia, it's actually familiar. So there's Work Adventure, there's Remo, there's a few ones. Then I asked for a few more that maybe had some AI capabilities or be like open sourced, stuff like that. So came up with a final table with all links. So Work is AI powered, has of course AI features, is an open source. This is not really relevant. But the thing that matters the most right now for me, which inevitably reflects on you, is how many members we can get in the free tier. So Work only has 10. Nonillion says it's invite only, but if I go and check Nonillion, and I click on launch meeting, okay, I can see that there's a maximum of 4 participants, and I can upgrade and get 50 participants and many different meeting rooms. The great thing about Nonillion is that, at least by what I'm getting, it's fixed per month, not price per user per month, which is very common for other ones. You see, $8 per user per month, 10 per user per month. So it's very unsustainable because members that join need to be on that same plan. And of course, it doesn't make sense for them, right? They're just joining for the sake of the community. And same for me on a business perspective. I don't know if someone that shows so much interest actually follows through that interest and executes on, doing more with that interest, right? So it becomes an asset. Because at that point, it's an extra seat I'm paying for. I'm covering myself for. But if that user isn't bringing me back direct value over a specific span of time, like a month, that's a liability. It's no longer an asset. And because I don't have enough data and I don't have anything to sell really, and meaning I don't have proper backend infrastructure to make data-driven decisions that tell me, okay, Dom, you're spending $8 on this user per month just to be part of the community, but this user is bringing back $10, $60, $200. So of course in that case it's justified. I don't have that data yet because there's no actual plan yet. So I think the priority will be going for either something that I already know works, like SoWork or Gather, or go for the one that allows the biggest amount of users, which is Kumo Space, 30 users. Also looks good, looks like it's customizable and stuff like that, right? So if I double check, maybe they changed something, because I see that in the free one, it's 5 registered members. Now, of course, I don't know what registered member means. If it's like in SoWork, because SoWork can have guests, unlimited guests, but they are limited in terms of how much time they can access the space. So it looks like paying $10 per month for Nonillion and having up to 50 participants per room would be great, but I have to dive deeper into this and decide. Now, what I will do is send you this table. There's a few things that don't make sense at all, like this is purely for events and very professional. There's an option that is self-hosted, or that $2 per user per month is really good as well, like Work Adventure. But I want something that is kind of enjoyable and visually appealing to, right? Which this one doesn't really look like it. So there's many different options. In this case, I want to go for something that is balanced between visually appealing, useful, allows most people in the free plan, and is fast. Doesn't take up too much RAM on your tab because they're usually browser based. So you just open the Office as a tab in your browser. So I have tested a few of them, SoWork and Gather, and they're great. But let's see what the best option is. Because I want everything I do to be community driven, I'm going to send this table to you, probably as a Notion document. You can check it out yourself and maybe make an informed decision and just help me. Or if you don't give a shit, you don't want to be part of it, no worries. Just let me know in that case as well. So this is when it comes to the community aspect. When it comes to the other thing I've been doing today, that's NA10 and automation basics. Specifically, I've been relearning them. Why? Because I needed to vet and distill the information in a structured and effective way for future and honestly current community members to consume. I'll say future because this hasn't been defined yet, as I just finished explaining. But I know there's people like Noob Master Josh, Federico himself, that messaged me and want access to the resources that I'm preparing. But I showed in day 6, so yesterday, the current organization, or organized material that I sent to this other friend of mine, Francesco, who is studying NA10 AI agents, systems, and stuff like that, right? But this information was just stuff that I had bookmarked, maybe watched, binge watched, I should say, or used only specific moments of each video to feed my curiosity, because I haven't built anything yet. So it wasn't even to do debugging or confirm anything I was doing was right. So it was just knowing that people doing those things, each of those things, were following these guys or this specific resource. So it was external vetting. But I had to do a personal one. So I'm re-going through everything, all those resources, and honestly found a few new ones that are really good. How did I do with that? Basically, there's this NA10 beginner course, which is you can find in a playlist in NA10's YouTube channel directly, and it's really effective. It's fast, but it's effective. And so I've been distilling everything, of course, through the help of Dia as well. As I was watching the video, I was asking questions to it. And so I was able to confirm that after watching the first 3-4 videos in the playlist, it's 9 videos in total for beginners, the summary and the practical summary, so practical action points and insights and initial summary, are so powerful from Dia because they are incredibly accurate, and I love that. I was reading through to executive practical insights, and they're literally everything I learned from the video, which would have saved me 13-15 minutes each if I just did that and read through them. Of course, it's different because I'm a lot of a visual learner, so I love to pair both bullet points and practical insights with visual support when I'm learning. Or even better, I'm a practical learner, so I learn a lot by doing, stumbling upon problems and fixing them with tutorials or with the aid of AI. But more on that on future specific videos. Because so far, what I have prepared is a few structured resources for you to consume, which is exactly what I've been consuming. And I think, and I'm 100% sure that this is enough to get you going. Now, I want to show you proof, but it would be messages in Italian. Francesco has been messaging me just tonight, like I think an hour ago, and he says he's building a huge system thanks to the information that I provided him with about NA10 and AI automation to handle his mom's job, which is teacher. So she's creating like teaching material, quizzes, actual tests with AI, and using AI to retrieve the information, like to check on the results from the students and integrate that with her, of course, highly contextual knowledge. So I think that's, that of course fills me with joy because it means he's learning from something that I previously curated, but now I'm going even deeper with my curation. So from simple curation to vetting and confirming that that thing is useful. And I also have like proof that that works. And also that works in local applications too, in our case, like Italian language and Italian context. So this brings me back to no master, the Indian guy. You can do it too. It's for everyone. So the main action points for you guys are: what do we do with our community? More importantly, where do we host it? Do we still want a static one just to connect asynchronously, and then as a extra feature we have a virtual office, or just go straight with the virtual office? And I don't know, we'll see. And secondly, check the comments or descriptions, because I will attach links for this information, and I want your feedback on whether or not it was useful. And more importantly, because I don't know what you need, just tell me. Maybe you can say this was very, very, very basic info. I want something that goes deeper. And I can do that. Because as I'm consuming this info, I'm relearning, which is amazing. Because I knew about all those things like status codes, the methods like get and post when you do a request, how HTTP request works in general, what webhooks are, and all those things, right? But relearning them theoretically, as I said earlier in the video, and also practically, it's a huge game changer, right? So yeah, let me know what you might possibly need, and I'll figure out how to put those resources together, give them to you. By the way, I've been using Fabric. It's amazing for all of this. I already created a few folders, one for automation, one for vibe coding, for project management, which I've been importing from my Obsidian previously. So it's working. It's working. I just don't have enough to test the AI assistant on how good it is on retrieving info and enriching info and all those things, like connecting notes together, all that stuff. I will try that. I'm also running other experiments with what's the best way to capture quick ideas through voice, which is one of my favorite way of capturing them, whether through Fabric. In fact, I also installed it on my phone, or through voice notes that I mentioned in a previous video. I'm testing both, and again, right now I just have like a couple notes, so it will be useful for me to do a review when I tested it for a long period of time with enough data quantity. That being said, last thing I do is the journaling, but that's literally the last thing I do. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will have these recaps literally the day before, because today is day 7, but I post these videos the day after, so you can see what's going on earlier than anyone else, and also you can see, if you're interested, a bit of my personal journaling. So how I'm feeling personally, how things change emotionally, how I react to maybe progress I do or followers I get. You can kind of see the correlation between what you can feel if you get on a similar journey. Of course, we're very different people, all of us are, but you can kind of understand what this whole journey means, at least for me. And with that, you know what happens tomorrow? We just keep building, so do the same. Let's keep building, guys.